everybody, welcome back to my channel, LoveTube777. If you're new here, my name's Michelle Madden. Please hit the big red button to subscribe. That way you'll get notified when future videos come out. So I had a little extra time today, and I thought I would talk a little beauty gossip. I do beauty videos on YouTube. I create them, I do product reviews, and I'm working on setting up an area where I can film like tutorials and looks and things like that. And it's a work in progress. But of course, like for years now, one of my favorite like genres in the YouTube community is the beauty videos. And people have a tendency to gossip about all of the girls and guys who have made it to the big time and are called like the beauty gurus. You know, the ones that have like over 1 million subscribers and everybody loves. So there's actually been a lot of channels who have made it big, you know, subscriber count wise, just off talking about the other people who are doing beauty. So I've been thinking lately about John Kuckian. I don't know how to pronounce his last name, but he's the guy that has like the really nice eyebrows. Like every female in the world would die to have eyebrows like that, right? They're like perfect. And it doesn't even look like he tries to make them perfect. Like he just wakes up and they're like that. So yeah, that guy John, he has like a really big beauty kind of gossip channel. He gossips about some other things too, but a lot about makeup people. And then there's Monn, who also gossips a lot about all the beauty people, and he's really cute too. He's got the like whitish beard. I'm sure you know, great videos. But anyway, so I've been thinking about how this rumor got started that Jeffree Star and Nathan have a fake relationship. And Jeffree Star is a controversial figure anyway, so I'll tell you my opinion on Jeffree Star. You know, I have always kind of liked him, going back even to like the MySpace days. And I know on YouTube there are a lot of people, market segment in like the 13 to 17-year-old. So if you're watching and you are that age, you might not even remember Jeffree Star from the MySpace days. But yeah, he was like a singer, and then he got into designing clothes, and he was always like an outrageous person. You know, the kind of people I like, somebody who's a little more edgy, a little more avant-garde, you know, doesn't mind putting himself out there, being unique, being different. And I always liked that in people. And he kind of put out that message to other people, as I do, like, be yourself. Don't be afraid of being weird or being unusual. Like, you know, rock your freak flag. And I love that. So he was really good friends with Kat Von D. And he's pretty much like a walking portfolio for Kat Von D's tattoos. You know, he's covered in her beautiful work. She's an amazing, amazing artist, right? And back in the day, she used to have, you know, that show, LA Ink, and Jeffree was on a couple episodes. Sometimes he'd be getting tattooed. Sometimes he'd be giving her, like, love life advice. And they were really good friends. And I always thought they had a very cute friendship. And then, you know, she did a couple books about her tattoos with like photographs in them and stuff. And Jeffree, of course, since he has so many of her tattoos, was in her books, and he would go with her to the book signings and like sit at the table with her. So they had this really nice friendship. And then they both got into the makeup business. And I don't know what happened, but I'm kind of sad about them breaking up as friends, because I don't know either one of them personally, but I really like them both as people, and I really love both of their brands. I mean, the Kat Von D beauty brand and the Jeffree Star cosmetic line, I would say have become like two of my favorites, really. I mean, them and Urban Decay, I would put like in my top 5. I really love the makeup. I love the quality of the makeup. I love, like, you know, the image, the branding of all those lines. So definitely like the lines, and I like the people behind them. I love Kat Von D. I love her big heart. I love what she stands for. I love how she is a voice for the voiceless, the way she speaks up for animals and, you know, really tries hard. She's trying to make her line 100% vegan and cruelty-free. And I think that's beautiful. Like, it really comes from the heart with her, and you feel that, and you know that, and you just sense her big heart, even though you don't know her. So, yeah, I'm kind of sad that they had that breakup, and it sucked because they kind of made their friendship breakup public when they put out YouTube videos to each other. So then, you know, this whole drama ensued, which everybody else got involved in. And it was kind of, you know, one of those things, like, what are you going to do? It sucks, you know? I mean, I've had friendships end. Sometimes you just drift apart. You get, you know, different, you grow apart. You like different things happen. And then other times, you know, you actually have a fight which ends a friendship. But sometimes those fights can be mended, and maybe they will repair their friendship. And I still kind of hope so. But if not, you know, that's between them. I'm sure there was more going on in that friendship than we know about in the 2 public videos that they put out. But anyway, I digress. Back to Jeffree Star and Nathan. So meanwhile, like, I do like Jeffree Star. I know there's a lot of controversy about him, but I get a kick out of him. You know, I really like his videos. I think he's hilarious. I love how he, like, looks in an eyeliner and he's like, oh, I see you, eyeliner. You better work. You know, and all that. Just, yes, bitch, yes. I love it. He's great, right? He's so entertaining. That's why his channel is doing great. He's getting so many views. And it's fun. Everybody likes to be a part of it. So I think that's great. And when he does a video with Nathan, like, the views go through the roof because, you know, Nathan's a hottie. He's so sweet. And you can tell that the 2 of them are in love. You know, I don't think that this is a fake relationship. I mean, some people try to make it out like it's one of those things. Like, do you remember Hugh Hefner that used to own Playboy? And he would get, like, girlfriends. Like, he would have, like, 6 girlfriends at one time. And he'd be, like, in his 70s or 80s. And he would have, like, these 20-year-old, like, mega hot girlfriends just because he was rich. So it was kind of obvious that he was paying them. Well, there's some kind of rumor going on, right, where they're trying to say that, like, Jeffree, you know, paid Nathan, that he's not even gay, that he's straight, that, you know, I don't even know. It's ridiculous, really, when you think about it, because you can sense body language and sense when people are in love. And when you see those 2 on video together, I think they look very much so in love. The following audio is from Peter Monn's video.
So I have a hard time believing that he has to buy his boyfriend. I'm just saying, like, that's just, in my opinion. These people have facts and proof. Now, none of them sent me the facts. None of them sent me text messages between them and Jeffree saying, like, you know, oh, hey, like, I bought Nathan. He cost me 10 grand a month. Or, I don't know. I mean, what would that contract say? Like, first of all, that contract would have to be, like, really sketchy. Like, you will appear in pictures and videos with me and all this kind of stuff. So, I was looking through Snapchat last night, and I came across Jeffree Star's, and I, like, had to make this video today. So, okay, this is the picture I love the best. There's Nathan holding some pumpkins. And then there's Jeffree. They're in Calabasas. They're picking out pumpkins to carve for the night. There they are. There's Nathan and his brother at the pumpkin patch or the farmer's market or wherever. And then there's makeup and... I was watching those snaps and I was thinking to myself, basically, like, I wonder, like, what that contract says. Does that contract say, like, okay, Nathan will agree to stand at the pumpkin patch in front of a pumpkin looking all family-like, 10 grand. His brother will also, you know, with 6 you get egg roll, because other gossip columnists are basically saying that because he bought Nathan, the brother goes along for the ride. Do you guys realize how sick that sounds?
Oh, so there was a video that Peter Monn put out. I think it was like early October. Let me look. October 9th. Okay, so you can check that out. I'll link it below too. But he was talking about, like, if Jeffree was paying Nathan, what would the contract look like? And I remember, speaking of the Playboy guy, Hugh Hefner, he used to actually... He would have this deal with the girls, right? His, like, fake girlfriends, that they couldn't go out after 9 because I guess he didn't want them, like, dating or sleeping with other men. And I guess he would rotate who would actually sleep with them. But if it wasn't, like, that girl's night to be performing for him sexually, they had their own room. It was like living in a 5-star hotel. They all got to drive, like, you know, Lamborghinis and very exotic, expensive cars, you know, much like Jeffree Star has, you know, best of the best, you know, if they wanted a Porsche or whatever, they got it. Ferrari, Lamborghini, Porsche. Yeah, so they could have any car they wanted, they could go to school, but there were certain rules in the contract, like they had to be back in the mansion at 9 o'clock. They all got an allowance for like plastic surgery and beauty treatments, which was huge. I think it was like $50,000 a year. You can watch the show, The Girls Next Door, kind of showed a little bit of behind the scenes of how he set up this, relationship that he had with the girlfriends. So, but yeah, they got like $50,000 a year if they wanted to have boob jobs or lip injections or any kind of beauty treatments. I think carte blanche for going to the hairdressers and getting their hair done, all kinds of stuff. And then they had all these contracts. The contract gave them all kinds of stuff. And on top of that, I think they also got a salary of like $100,000 a year. So they got a salary, they got a salary, they got allowance for plastic surgery, they got an expensive exotic car, they got to stay in this mansion with their own really big private room, when they didn't have to stay in his room when they weren't performing for him sexually. And there was a bunch of them, so they rotated who had to perform like the acts. But yeah, and it was like it had room service. Like you could like call down to this kitchen, this gourmet kitchen that they had at the mansion, and have anything you wanted made up. So it's weird, but like these kind of contracts do exist. And Peter Monn was talking about it in his video. Like, what does Jeffree have like a contract with Nathan? Like you're gonna have to go stand at the pumpkin patch with me and take pictures and stuff like that. Now again, I don't think that it's a fake relationship, but I'm just bringing up what people are talking about in these videos, and that these type of things do exist, even though I don't think it exists with Jeffree Star. I mean, I think Jeffree Star's a hot guy, and he's a rock star, and he's rich. He could get any guy he wanted to get. I mean, if anything, Nathan's probably lucky to have him. Nathan's a good-looking guy, really hot, really cute, seems like he has a great personality, but where would he be without Jeffree, right? He'd probably have a pretty boring life. So Jeffree could have anyone, I think. He probably can get most anyone that he hits on, I would imagine. The following audio clip is from John's video.
I couldn't care less about Jeffree Star. He can go and have his career, whatever you want to call it. It's probably not happy for him, even if he's making really average to poor quality makeup products. NikkieTutorials, I think she's fantastic, great energy, great tutorials, and I really felt like I agreed with her morals and her production quality and her integrity, and I haven't heard a single person call her out on this, and I'm sorry, I know I'm going to get so much abuse for this, but I have to say it. When you actively promote someone's products and their brand and them as a person after they've been exposed as a bully, and you have a following of 5 million people on Instagram, nearly 6 million people on YouTube, you are telling your followers it's okay to be friends with the bully. It's fine to be friends with the bully. I thought more of you than to just be friends with people for the sake of money. Yes, he's an absolute wanker, but he has millions of subscribers, so he can promote my product for me. We can cross-pollinate our audiences, we can grow twice as fast. Yet, you know what? Sometimes growth isn't worth losing your reputation. I just have to say, I'm disappointed that you didn't make a stand. I'm disappointed that even though you saw everyone else around you saying, you know what, we don't support a racist, we don't support someone that violently abuses their fans, you continue to promote him on your Snapchat and mention him in videos, and it's disappointing. I genuinely thought you, of anyone, would be against bullying.
In one of John's videos, which I'm going to link below, he actually got mad at Nikkie from NikkieTutorials for standing by Jeffree and remaining his friend. This was back when a lot of the big drama and whatever started breaking about Jeffree's racist and Jeffree's this and that, which I don't really necessarily believe, but there was a lot of drama going on at the time. And John, in his video, was like mad at NikkieTutorials for standing by her friend. I, for one, was really proud of her for standing by him because they're friends in real life. And you know what? It's easy to be somebody's friend and to be loyal to them when they're a rock star and things are good and things are going great. But you find out who your true friends are when you're going through hard times. And maybe Jeffree needed a friend right then, and I really respected her. That shows to me that she's a good person, that she's a true friend. They know each other personally, and she stuck by him. when things were looking bad for him and nobody really knew, was his image going to pull out of this big, you know, dramatic thing about him being a racist and Kat Von D no longer wanting to associate with him? A lot of people didn't know if Jeffree would recover from that, you know, if his image was ruined forever. Would it hurt his makeup company? Would it hurt his YouTube channel? You know, Nikkie didn't know that at the time, but she stood by him and she was a loyal friend to him, and I'm proud of her for doing that. So I disagreed with John, and I'll link his video below. In John's video, he brought up that he thinks that Jeffree is a bully, and I think that stems from back when Jeffree Star got into a fight with Shayla from, you know, the girl, she's a makeup artist, Makeup by Shayla, does stuff with Tarte. They got in this fight, but I actually happen to know some behind the scenes dirt about that fight and what happened. You see, when Jeffree Star was first trying to get his company off the ground, you know, and it's hard at first when you're starting a new business, you know, he was trying to break into a very tough competitive industry, the cosmetic industry. And, you know, some people were already sort of established in that arena. And he ran into a group of girls which he called the mean girls. And a lot of that stuff that John thinks was bullying was really directed to some girls who were very mean to him. And I'll get into that in a future video, because some of these mean girls are people you might know. So it's something we should probably talk about at some point. Some juicy stuff, you know. But we'll save that for later, because that's not what this video is about. Peter Monn's best viewed videos are about Jeffree Star, which I thought was interesting. And the other guy, John Eyebrow Boy, whose last name Kuckian or whatever I can't pronounce, he's done an enormous amount of videos about Jeffree Star. And it seems like all the fake relationship talk seems to always be brought up there. And I don't know, I'm wondering if maybe those men have a secret, you know, sort of celebrity crush on Jeffree Star. I don't know, what do you guys think? Do you think that John and Peter Monn just talk about Jeffree Star because it's great clickbait, because Jeffree Star is popular and his videos are going to get a lot of views? Or do you think that they kind of have some kind of personal obsession where they maybe, you know, have the hots for him or something? It was weird because Peter Monn did a video in early October. I think it was his second video about Jeffree Star and Nathan and their relationship. And he was comparing it to the Real Housewives, which I don't watch. And he does think that they have a real relationship though. But he was joking about how people on Twitter were saying that now that Jeffree Star is living with, you know, that brought Nathan's little brother in to live with them, that now people are saying, oh, he's getting a group bargain with all these young hot guys. And the thing of it is though, I brought up the Playboy guy, Jeffree Star isn't an old man, and he isn't really ugly. You know what I mean? It's so, I don't see the comparison. I think the age difference between him and Nathan might only be 8 years. Jeffree's still young. He might not be as young as Nathan, but it's not a huge age difference, especially if someone's in their early 20s and the other guy's in their early 30s. That's not a big deal. You know, 8-10 years at that age is not a big span. And the John Eyebrow guy, John always acts like Jeffree Star is so ugly. He found the worst picture of Jeffree Star, and he puts it up always in his thumbnails, and he kind of rolls his eyes ooh, he's so gross. But I kind of think that maybe he doesn't think that maybe he actually thinks he's hot. And in reality, Jeffree Star is a nice looking guy. If he was straight, I think he would be comparable to somebody like Tommy Lee, Tommy Lee, the drummer in Motley Crue, who was really hot and used to get all the girls. And I'm saying that because, you know, Tommy Lee was skinny, he was covered in tattoos, he was in the music business, you know, kind of had that rock star thing going on. He would dye his hair crazy colors. So even though he was a straight guy, you know, I could see the similarity where if Jeffree was straight, he would probably be like Tommy Lee, that type. And Tommy Lee got all the girls. He got like all the hot girls on Baywatch, like all the girls that every guy ever dreamed about. Tommy Lee was actually getting them. So yeah, I think if Jeffree was straight, that women would like him. And I think he's very appealing to gay men. So all this thing where John tries to act like, oh, he's not good looking and he could never actually get Nathan, I completely disagree with. I think Jeffree's very nice looking, you know, and even aside from the makeup and, you know, all the crazy extras, the designer clothes and everything. I mean, he has that very Scorpio, you know, sexual, hey there kind of thing going on. And I think, you know, it's why people in general like him. He's charismatic, right? He has that thing, that it thing, that star power. So when John tries to act like maybe he's not, you know, that Jeffree's not good looking, I don't know. I kind of think maybe he might protest too much, that maybe John might think he really is good looking. You know, maybe he might have a little secret crush on him. And I know Peter's in love with his husband and all, but sometimes I kind of get the vibe that maybe Peter has a crush on Jeffree too. I don't know. What do you guys think? I'm just sitting here like gossiping, and I wanted to see what your input was. Do you think that Peter Monn and John with the eyebrows, the gossip guru guy, do you think that those guys just bring up Jeffree Star as clickbait and to get views on their videos, or do you think there's something more to that? Do you think they're trying to get Jeffree's attention, maybe kind of trying to flirt with him a little bit? Do you think maybe they want to meet him? Do you think they have like a celebrity crush thing going on? I'd really like to hear what your opinion is on it. You know, I love to watch all the beauty YouTube channels, and then, you know, everybody gossips about it. So I wanted to see what your take is. Do you think that some of these guys that talk about Jeffree Star and gossip about him, do you think that they really maybe have a little secret crush on him? So I don't know, if you're as bored as I am, leave me a comment down below and give me your 2 cents. What do you think? And also, what do you think about Jeffree and Nathan? Do you like Jeffree, or are you like one of the people who dislike Jeffree? Do you like Jeffree and Nathan together as a couple? Do you think it's real? Do you think it's fake? I don't know. What do you think? I definitely think they're in love. That's my opinion. I think Jeffree and Nathan are a true couple. I really like them. I really like Jeffree as a person. I like his videos. I like his cosmetics. So, but I want to know what you guys think. And I like to watch Peter and John's videos, but I'm kind of wondering if maybe they have a little crush on Jeffree. So, what do you think? If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up and don't forget to subscribe. Love you guys. See you next video.